A is for Isle, B is for Delium, C is for Czar, and if you see him, would you mind telling him? Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. We're going to talk about how your guild can get to 130 million damage in the Crate Raid, which is actually, I know it's kind of a lie, actually, because not every guild can get there, and I hope your guild can, but if you can't, at least this is a way to get there. I think a lot of guilds can do a lot better than they're currently doing, and I guess I'll say up front, right now, immediately, this is not the place I want to talk about raid rewards. I know that CG didn't have good raid rewards. Maybe they'll fix it, maybe they'll not, but this is a strategy video. It's not going to be about how awful the raid rewards are. This is hopefully helping you plot your way from getting Sith raid, to actually getting the 130 box, or at least a roadmap to get there. And some of what we're talking about, you don't even need the Cartel. So let's not change accounts there. Wow. Let's jump into thanking my patrons. You guys are amazing and really appreciate every single one of you. I know that there's actually a couple people who need to be added or swapped over because you upgraded your level, which is super appreciated. Every single thing is very much appreciated, guys. Thank you all so much. I couldn't do what I do without you. We'll get this updated soon. And if you are of the preference of mounting the algorithm, or even just supporting this channel for free, guys, all you've got to do is like, subscribe, and or comment. I feel like the algorithm is just about to mount the Crate Raid. It's an exciting time, folks. So here's how it goes, folks. I'm going to show you how to get there, and then I'm going to actually show you how to get there. I'll show you a video of how I did it with my main account using teams that I'm prescribing. But my main account obviously is pretty big, and I could, I'm going to do more damage than a lot of other accounts out there, a lot of people watching, but you don't have to do nearly as much as I'm doing, and I'll show you the mechanics and how it works. So, first off, 130 million bucks. That means everyone has to get 2.6 million in your guild. That's a 50-person guild has to get 2.6 each, which, I mean, you're probably going to realistically have a few people who can get significantly less, and you're going to have some people who can double this or more. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff, and so the two most viable options, in my opinion. I mean, so you can go the pretty traditional route, I guess, and if everyone has Jabba, even if he's just Relic 5, if you can get that 1.2 million damage on Relic 5 Jabba, then you can get a 1.2 on Beskar Mando, and then Old Republic at Relic 3, which doesn't include Karth, by the way, can get you another 600. That's 3 million, which is pretty good. Or the other one that my friend Solo was talking about, which is really interesting to me. He is saying if you can get 900,000 on with Beskar Mando, and you can get another 900,000 on Old Republic, then all it takes is 300k with Gear 11 Tuscans, which I don't know, that's crazy if you can get it with Tuscans at Gear 11. It's pretty cool. 300k with Jawas at Gear 11, and then 300k with randoms. Like if you're working on Jabba, but you don't have him yet, maybe you have Boosh, maybe you have Skiffguard Lando, that kind of thing. You'll probably find a team. Like 300k is pretty forgiving, guys. That's the lowest level, and that would get you at 2.7. So if everyone can do that, I mean, you don't even need to get Jabba. Now, some of this is predicated on the idea that Beskar Mando is going to remain viable, and I'm actually not totally convinced. I think that CG is going to fix it. I think it's a bug, but the good news is I'm also fairly sure that Maul and the Mandalorians are going to come and save the day, at least if you have Maul. If you don't have Maul, then that's going to be a little tougher. You need to get a better Jabba, most likely. But we'll make a video when we come to that. But so for now, we're going to assume that BAM remains viable, at least for the next, I don't know, couple weeks. Hopefully they won't fix it right away. They might, realistically. So to get the 234 box, guys, and this is the one that is significantly better rewards than the other one. Everyone has to average a 4.7 million. And so, I mean, there's a couple routes to do it. You guys can read here. You know, if you just do the 1.8 million Jabba, that's at Relic 7. But then you get best Garmando with the Mandalorians, or the Mandalorians, Old Republic, and some Tuscans and randoms. You get to 4.6. I mean, this isn't that crazy, guys. Actually, I mean, as long as your Old Republic can carry some weight, you're kind of just good to go. I mean, I guess that's the case with the other slide as well. If Old Republic can bear some weight more than this slide is showing, you can probably replace a lot of the nonsense that Best Garmando is giving you. So I mean, you can get all the way to 5.5 pretty easy if you have, I mean, if you have a lot of relics. You need the Relic 8 Jabba team. But then, actually, after that, just need Relic 5 on everything, which, I mean, that's going to be a little tough as well. But I'm going to show you guys how I did this, guys. How my main account got, let's see, I think it's at 5.7 million is what I'm at, which would actually get me to the next box. If everyone else in my guild could do this, we could get to the next box. And it's not that crazy, guys. I mean, if you're working on Jabba, if you have a Jabba team and you're putting some relics on, you could realistically do this. So let's get into the actual footage here, guys. And so we'll start with Cartel. First, you guys could pause it, go back and see what comp I'm using. So this is actually a slightly different strategy that I wanted to employ. I do have the Omicron on Boosh at this point because it was too cheap to pass up, and frankly, I'm not into wasting my time, and therefore I don't want to have to do resets. So this is my very first attempt trying this. What I wanted to do was try going without using the ultimate. All right. So on Jabba, I mean, I wanted the option to, but I wanted to just ignore it a little bit. So start with the AoE on Boba. This is what I was showing you guys before. So you do a bunch of damage to the slug, to the crate here. Prevent him from gaining buffs, which is nice. Vomits all over us, which is unseemly to the extreme. Alright, let's blow up some of these things, I guess. I mean, let's call Jabba. We want to get his ult ready at the very least, right? So, there we go. Jabba's just going to do his basic, so you can get his ultimate ready. And then we can regrow some of these supplies. Remember, we're taunting right now, so the crate is going to swallow Chrysanthemum, and we will never see him again. So say goodbye to Chrysanthemum. Goodbye to our pet. Alright, I say goodbye. And now he's going to just hang out for a minute, I guess. So, there, let's try to get him back. I mean, we're not going to succeed, but we can try, right? So we're 1.3 million right now. Remember, the Boosh Omicron is pretty nice, helping us out. And then I don't know. We could do a basic. We could do the armor shred thing. Let's just do this. Okay, so we're at 1.8, and I decided not to pop my ult. I was like, what if we just cleansed everyone and called everyone to assist? How much damage would that do? And as it turned out, it wasn't like a crazy amount of damage, but pretty decent. And then Boosh can throw her grenades, destroy all the stuff, and then we're at 2.3 million right now, guys. And there's a bunch of debuffs on the slug, and just shoot him with execute on Boba. Call it good. So we didn't even need Jabba's ultimate. which is kind of cool. It was got it the first time, so who knows how crazy consistent that is. But let's go now with this best Garmando team. So yeah, we got 2.7. That's an important factor to getting all of these. You know, it's good to get the high reward track as well. You know, the personal reward track, getting to like what 5.4 or something is the level that I'm at. So all right, I'm not totally convinced that Sabine should be here. I mean, she's pretty good, but she's not a scoundrel, which is an issue. Now, this is the reason this is a little bit sus, guys. The reason it's a little bit suspicious is that it's all predicated on, you know, getting to his what's it called? I just totally forgot what it is. Is enrage is what it is. And so what we're doing here, guys, we're just trying to get the explosives ready for when he delves down into the deep. Now this is something we can save, so we don't have a taunt or anything, so we can shoot with the ballista, and then yeah, so just doing basics here. Eventually we'll use that explode. I guess we'll just use it now for fun. Eventually we will, I think, we'll be able to save. Yeah, there we go. Spits him out. There you go. Cool. Alright, get another armor shred in there. We're at 150,000. So right now we're just surviving, guys. We have to survive. And, you know, that's fine. We have to survive. We're not doing that much damage compared to how riled up he is. Gosh, did I just do the dispel from Bo-Katan and it just missed because I was blinded? It's kind of fun. I'm not actually sure if that's the case. Alright, so let's just wait for the crate to pop back up because we can't even get explosives here. And to be clear, guys, I'm not going to say I'm definitely not saying I'm a paragon of skill here with this. I'm sure that there are things that I could optimize. I'm absolutely sure that there are things I could optimize. Okay, hey, we get rid of that offense up. That's pretty good. And I guess I put whistling birds on for some reason. Good for me. Alright, so we're at 1.7. So the idea, guys, is we're at 65% and toward getting him frenzied. And the idea is to get pretty close, and then we'll shoot a harpoon at him, and then just doing basics essentially just makes it so that we gain enough turn meter that the whole time we just float there and he never takes another turn. So I don't remember, like, eventually I'll just put it on auto, in fact. So you can see already we're gaining a bunch of turn meter here every time, except for Sabine. Sabine doesn't get a turn. She's not fancy. She's not a scoundrel, so she's not getting anything from Best Garmando's leadership, at least not speed-wise. And so, I mean, Crate Dragon's got so much turn meter, he's going to eventually... Yeah, there we go. There it is. Now, I think eventually I do. Yeah, okay, so I cleanse Django so that he can gain bonus turn meter here. And then eventually I think I can just go auto basic. Yeah, here we go. Auto basic, guys. And he's in enrage, but he doesn't have turn meter. We're out gaining turn meter here. Kind of seems like we're actually hitting his turn meter, not letting him gain it. And that's why this is potentially a bug. We don't know if they're going to fix it soon or not. Though I am told that Maldalorians can get a very similar score to this. You just have to set it up right. And I haven't been exposed to that yet. But get out there and do this, guys. It's kind of fun. Yeah, you just have to mess around with it. And eventually, once you get pretty close to his breaking point, once he gets to enrage, then he just stops being able, you just outgain him in turn meter like crazy. You can see we'll get to 1.2, call it a day. And I'm pretty sure this works at higher levels as well. I just only have, some of these characters only relic 5. I guess only one of them. We could upgrade Bo-Katan to 7 and try it at 1.8. I don't really care. All right, so we're at 1.2, folks. Yay. Which means we're at like 3.9, I guess. So here, let's get to the next one, shall we? This is the Old Republic one, which is something a lot of people are going to be able to do. This is Relic 5. We have Mission and Zalbar. I guess Mission and Zalbar aren't necessarily characters everyone has geared up. But the idea here, guys, is to keep Mission doing her thing. So the first thing we do, we call Basti to assist so that we get, it gives turn meter to the Crate Dragon for some reason. And takes a turn. Okay, so now we're not going to use the Dispel unless the Crate Dragon has Tenacity up on it and Crit Avoid. So otherwise we're going to cleanse Zalbar so that he's going to taunt. And then he and Zalbar, or he and Mission, are going to just hang out with each other. Okay, so he had the Tenacity up. So let's Dispel that with Basti. We'll shoot the Harpoon here, and then now we could just mark the Crate Dragon. Spits out Zalbar. Good work. And I keep wanting to target Mission or Zalbar with this. Remember, if you target, so you want to give buffs to Mission so that she hits harder, of course. Yeah, right now this thing is marked, so we can't explode these things yet. Okay. Oh, that was pretty rude. Crate Dragon. Senior Crate. Remember, if we explode one of the supplies, then it cleanses everyone's debuffs. Or the supplies, whatever they're called. Explosives. Alright, Basti's not looking too great. She's not looking too great. So, yeah, we could use like, Basti's looking so ungreat that I decided to not use my revive on anyone, just to cleanse. Alright, so swallowed Zalbar. Let's get him back. Let's go. Alright, spits out Zalbar. And we're at 7.87, and Mission is starting to ramp damage pretty well. In fact, she's starting to do some good damage. Probably should have just done the AoE there to get a little extra damage on the stupid worm. Though I suppose this is just fine as well. Let's revive Basti here. And yeah, so we're gonna blow this up. He's back in. And we're nearing the end here, yeah. If we can get to 100 damage, that will be great. Our guys are actually starting to do a lot of damage every hit, so there we go. We're at 1 million. It's probably as much as we can hope for, huh? If I tried to play it a lot more, I could probably get more than that, but not too bad. All right, Tuscans. Tuscans are tricky. You only want to shoot the ballista at the dragon. You do extra damage with the ballista. You wanna only shoot the ballista at the Crate Dragon, which refreshes a lot with either the shaman or But first, you're gonna try to get all of your explosives to a 1, 2, 3 configuration so that when you hit one of them, they all can theoretically explode. So just remember that sometimes you're able to call the warrior to assist, but the warrior hits twice in that case. So using the ballista is going to be a really important thing here. And I actually went lower difficulty than I needed to for this one, guys. I think I did. Just so I could survive a little longer. Okay, so warrior's gone. We use the harpoon, get him back. Her back. And we got to dispel that nonsense here pretty soon. On the crate, the crit immune is frustrating. Tenacity up is irritating. So he's submerged now. Let's blow these things up. Apparently I don't know what I'm doing here. The first time I tried it, it worked like a charm. Just hit one of them and all of them exploded. I don't know what I did wrong this time, but still learning, folks. Alright. Yeah, so keep shooting with the ballista. Remember, the ballista does damage. And it looks like we're not going to end up with any damage here at all, right, guys? Like, he's already 40% toward his angry point. So he becomes an angry bird without wings. And he wishes he had wings. That'd be a little bit dumb, to be honest. Remember, the chieftain has that cleanse for the first and only special he has. And then just and Shaman are hitting with ballistas every time. Cool. Chieftain's gonna send someone to shoot the supplies a little bit. And let's see, I think this is Relic 7 on Chieftain, Relic 7 on Shaman, and then everyone is, I guess the Chieftain's okay modded, but, and the Warrior. They're not crazy modded, though. I think with more experience, you could probably end up doing this a lot more skillfully than I do. The goal is to get like 400,000, I think, which, I mean, we're still not doing wonderful on. One thing that I've been told that you don't want to do is use that second special on Warrior at any point. That's just not a good idea, apparently. Use the first special because that dispels the crate, but otherwise I think basics are pretty good. Double taps. Alright, we're at 252, and I don't know how close we are to enrage. 79%. We're getting close. Getting close to being destroyed here. There we go. Worm pops out. Dispel that offense up. Shoot some more harpoons. Let's do a basic so it calls someone to assist. There we go. Shoot more harpoons whenever you get the chance because the refresh rate is so crazy fast. Can cleanse this to get the warrior back in action. So we're over 400,000 at this point, guys. It's pretty cool. The goal is 400 for me. Apparently you can do a much easier level with these guys at lower relics and just smash it so hard that this is easy, but I chose the way of pain, alright? Now I'm choosing the way of not falling asleep while I'm talking to you guys for some reason. So we are in enrage. Any amount of damage that we can do is wonderful. I decided to try a couple things that I normally don't. So did the big hit with Warrior. Which I don't know if that triggered him or what, but ultimately we got kind of close to 600,000 with Tuscans. And the funny thing is, if you can get Relic 8 on Tuscans, I hear that it's like super easy to get to that level, to get that 2.7 because they ramp their damage so much. Okay, so I'm using Jawas here. The one that I'll point out is Dathcha. He's only gear 12. Everyone else is Relic 3 or 3, 4, or 5. Is what my Jawas are. So I'm using the lowest difficulty level here, folks. Lowest difficulty level for them. I think gear 12 is only allowed this level anyways, but even so, we're looking for 300,000 damage. So do the AoEs to start working on the explosives. And eventually he's going to smash someone. I don't think we have a cleanse. You just leave those thermals on him for funsies. Alright, looks like he swallowed someone. But they're back. Good story. You don't want to explode the thermals with Scavenger, apparently. That's not supposed to be what you do. So we're not doing that much damage, but we'll get there. Just trying to get them so once you hit one of them, they all explode. There we go. Get some more explosives running. Remember, this is the first time I've tried this, the first and the last time I've tried this, guys. So, yeah. Jawas, just button mash, essentially. I mean, what I've heard is that Gear 11 Jawas can beat this for 300,000 damage. Which, I mean, that's pretty cheap, right? Like, Gear 11 Jawas? Maybe you don't think so, but there's no Cairo tech involved. It's just old school gear. We're 229. Does no damage, because this is the easiest version of the boss. Oh, does no damage until he kills one of my things. So, there's that. I'll call the assists here. To get the explosive. We're real close to 300,000. Yeah, there we go. There it is. 300,000. I decided to explode that. I don't know if that's optimized. It probably isn't, guys. Probably not. So, there it is, guys. Those are the 5 teams that I used. And let's see, where we're going to be at. Does it show the final? There we go. So for 5.781, which is to say 5,781,786 damage. Not too bad. Not too bad. You know, probably would have gotten more if I had wanted to refresh a little bit more. But the idea is, guys, none of these teams, I didn't remod any of these teams. I just threw them in there and they were sufficient. My Jawas probably have awful, atrocious mods. So, yeah, hopefully this helps, guys. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this Sith raid, to be honest. A lot of good strategy and planning that goes into it. So if you don't want to get Jabba, if you're still working on Jabba but you want to fit in a side project to get Jawas up or something, hopefully that works. Let me know what your thoughts are in the video description. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.